map selection. Yeah.
Looks like they've got a handle on it now. We're going to Twilight Grove. I do think it's interesting that Addy is opting for using the speed stance. That takes a little bit out of attack. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's just thinking that he really wants to maneuver around. Speed stance on gauntlets, definitely something that can be helpful. It is just unfortunate that it is going to take a little bit out of attack. But hey, if all you're going for is gimps, maybe you don't need the extra force that attack provides.
You probably don't want that extra force. You want to keep them as close to you as possible with those some of the short hitboxes that Gauntlet has in the air. And looking at this hit, Eramm seems to be taking a nice chunk out of Addy's health. Gets the downlight into ground pound on the just below the platform there, and Addy's already in like light red, deep orange. Gets
Ooh.
the side
Nice
that comes out of Eramm.
We did see Eramm earlier in pools. He was using that Hattori really effectively. He did get a 3-stock on his opponent in pools, but of course this is Addymestic. This is a different beast. Eramm says, I don't care. I'm gonna get this stock real early. He's only in the orange. Addymestic's gonna have to get a slight change of plans if he wants to make this back in that downlight here. Good start. He doesn't get the recovery off the island bounce, and right now he's trying to get this weapon, but he doesn't want to overextend himself and get punished.
Yeah. He didn't want to go for that weapon too much as Eramm was guarding it, but he did go to the other side and pick up those fancy gauntlets. And it seems like ground pound is going to put a ton of damage onto Eramm. Eramm goes, actually gets the ground pound. Addy gets hits the set, can't finish it off, and I think that's Addy dead.
Wow, Eramm getting a game on Addymestic. Eramm's looking for a 3-stock yet again here. Addymestic is just at a loss for what he's supposed to do against Eramm. He does get a recovery, but yet again, hits him on the island. He's struggling to get this kill, and I think that island almost has something to do with it. Finally gets a nice ground pound, sends Eramm away, but he's down an entire stock.
That is phenomenal to see. Eramm could possibly JV3 this. This is Addymestic, but anything is possible. And Eramm is doing very well to keep at a JV3. He's keeping his position up. Can Addy stop the JV3?
Absolutely zoning him out with the spear attacks. Addymestic is finding it difficult to find the land attacks, but he is doing it right now. Downlight, Sair, trying to find another follow-up, but Eramm, of course, has escaped him. Nice neutral sig, and he gets the neutral light into side light, but gets hit by Eramm's side sig, a neutral sig, and Eramm is just using these signatures like nothing else on Hattori.
Eramm did that very well, very swift, and Addy's just said, I'm not having any of that. I'm going to beat you with my sword.
Switch to Bodvar. His gauntlets just didn't work at all.
It's the golden bode. It's a golden Bodvar. It looks really nice. Using all the Asgardian weapons on it by the looks of it. I assume he's got that hammer going as well.
I do want to point out, we are in quarterfinals. Right now, this is a fight for top 8. Whoever wins this match can secure themselves in the top 8. And right now, Addymestic and Eramm are going to battle it out. Addymestic finally getting some good damage on Eramm. This is looking much nicer than the last game, right off the bat.
It seems that right now, Eramm isn't able to do anything against this the domination that Addy's throwing out.
But Eramm has managed to get his hands on a sword. That's going to be dangerous for Addymestic. We saw how well that worked in the last game. And Addymestic is being a little bit more careful in general, making sure to watch out for Eramm's dodge reads, making sure not to over-aggress. And he's going to look for this recovery, and there it is. He gets it. Eramm uses his own recovery and gets completely interrupted. And Addymestic takes the first stock.
Addy having that first stock, and now Eramm needs to really push on this kill before he takes too much damage. Can he get it, or is Addy going to be able to space him out properly? Gets the side light, gets the neutral light. Addy doing very well to rack up this damage onto Eramm before he loses his life. Anything Addy gets right now is free.
Oh, that was a really nice read by Eramm. He went for the side light. He knew Addy was going to go downward, as Addymestic expected maybe a Sair, maybe a downlight, really anything going above, but instead Eramm followed up at the ground pound, and it worked really nicely for him. Going for multiple recoveries, Eramm knows to use that to rack up damage.
Both players are fairly even right now. Addy slightly less damage than Eramm, but both of those swords being very nicely played. and it's like a back and forth toesy toe sort of thing.
Here I'm finding that side air, basically stuck to the ground. Really nice for getting damage if you can make sure to land it on the ground. Addymestic, nice side air. Zoning out Eramm as he goes down to the bottom of the stage. I think Eramm was sort of baiting for an edge guard, but Addy said no. He moved around and he punished Eramm for his off the edge shenanigans.
Do you think Eramm's going to be able to secure this win really fast, or do you think he's going to have to go to a third game against Addymestic?
I think Eramm has to change the pace of the game right now. Addy's been controlling it for this entire match. He's basically turned it around completely, and Eramm needs to get his footing back again. I think the sword is a bit of a weak point for him, at least in this particular matchup. He had a lot of success in the last one, but it's the spear zoning that's really helped out for him, and he's going to pick up the spear now for this last stock. I think he can make this work, but he's got to be more careful.
It seems he is starting to be more careful using that spear to try and position himself correctly, but does get hit by the neutral light. Addy has the hammer that could be the bane of Eramm right now, especially with that recovery.
Eramm knows to be careful.
For.
I think he wants to bait out that recovery. He wants to punish with a spear down air. He knows how much range those have. He knows that he can out-prioritize hammer recovery in the right situations, but it doesn't matter. Eramm's going to get hit by Addymestic's Sair, and we're going to go to Game 3.
Game 3. This is very intense right now, in my opinion. Addymestic and Eramm both very good players for EU, and only one of them can come out of this, and the other one, it does head into loser's bracket, which could be a tough climb for them.
Eramm on Asuri. You have any thoughts about the Asuri pick? We haven't seen Eramm's guitars so far, but he's gonna bust him out now.
All I have to say is it's a level 70 Asuri. I'm gonna trust Eramm in what he's doing right now.
Indeed, and especially with guitars being the sort of meta pick, both in EU and NA, I think Eramm's gonna try to take full advantage of that fact. Take out the guitars. Let's see what sort of strings, maybe some downlight dare chains, maybe just some good old-fashioned neutral light dodge reads. Whatever the case is, we're starting off this match, and Eramm's gonna pick up the sword again. I wonder if he's gonna go for this weapon, or if he's gonna just use the sword as is. Both of them trading pretty evenly on the sword. Addymestic getting bits of advantage. However, Eramm is looking for downlight stair combinations, and Addy getting that side six is gonna put Eramm in the orange.
Addy's doing very well. Gets the stomp into downlight or down air. Gets the neutral light. Can Addy finish it off before Eramm does anything? Eramm has those guitars. This could be where Eramm starts pushing off a bit more. Waiting for Addy to get that ground pound to overextend, to try and say no. This is my wall.
And
Didn't
look, there's
work.
the backwards animation throw.
Yeah.
And Addymestic takes the first stock. Eramm, he had sword the entire time. He's gonna pick up. Oh, he's gonna pick up a sword. I must have missed the part where he threw away his guitars.
He had guitars for like a lot of I'm pretty sure as he died, he used them to get back after Addy overextended with that sword ground pound. But it doesn't matter because Addy is going to be able to rack up a ton of damage onto Eramm for that second stock.
Yeah, Addymestic getting some really nice downlight dare resets. That's gonna put Eramm at a huge disadvantage here as he's down a full stock, and it's almost looking like game one again, only with Addy being the one with the advantage. Eramm says no, I'm gonna take you out right now. He's even up the stock, but he's in the red. He's gonna need to make a big comeback here, and Guitars can do it if he knows how to get those strings in. He does wait for the dodge after the silent, but Addy's not gonna bite, and so Eramm has to end it right there. Let's see if he tries to go for something a little more combo heavy instead of dodge read heavy, and if Addy can adapt quickly enough to dodge out of whatever Eramm throws at him. Nice stomp in his air!
Yeah, I was gonna say, Eramm doesn't succeed in anything and gets hit by a stomp into Sair by Addymestic, putting Eramm into his final stop. Can he continue to rack up damage like he is slowly doing?
He did get that sidelight. He read the dodge inward, but of course, because Addy was at the edge of the stage, he wasn't able to actually do anything about it.
That's sadly true, and it seems Addy is going to be able to just push a tiny bit of damage onto Eramm. As I say tiny, he slowly adds a bit more. Kind of like a little scale. The longer we wait, the more damage Addy is putting onto Eramm without Eramm being able to put too much back against him. Addy
every
is just
single
positioning
time.
himself.
Eramm goes for one of those dares. Addy's able to dodge and then do a downlight, and the downlight catches him before Eramm's dare can. And I think Eramm's finding that quite a bit frustrating. I know I would be in his shoes. It just really looks like that dare was going to connect, and it isn't. And instead,
Another
Addy's going to keep interrupting. Downlight Sair, another Sair, and that's going to close it out. Addymestic is going to take the set and move on.